The champagne flute shattered against the hardwood floor, a jagged scream of glass that silenced the room. My sister, Claire, stood frozen, her perfect bridal makeup streaked with panic. I didn't mean to drop it. My hands trembled too hard to hold anything after what she'd just said. "Lila can't come to the wedding," she'd whispered, her voice brittle, like she was apologizing to a stranger. Lila, my adopted daughter, the 6-year-old who called me Mama, with a grin that could melt glaciers. "Ben. From my sister's wedding. Because our parents didn't want her kind there." The words sliced through me, sharper than the shards now glittering at my feet. I stood in Claire's pristine living room, the air thick with the scent of her lavender candles and the faint hum of pre-wedding chaos outside. My chest tightened, a fist of betrayal squeezing my heart. Claire avoided my eyes, fussing with her veil, muttering about keeping the peace and Mom and Dad's wishes. I wanted to scream. How could she? My sister, my confidant, the one who'd held my hand when I signed Lila's adoption papers, bend to this. How could she let our parents' prejudice dictate her day? But the deeper cut was the doubt creeping in. Had Claire always felt this way? Had her love for Lila been a lie? The weeks leading up to this moment had been littered with red flags, small enough to dismiss at first. Mom's tight-lipped smiles when I brought Lila to family dinners. Dad's offhand comments about fitting in at the country club venue. I'd rationalized it all. Old people, old ways, they'd come around. But Claire's silence was different. She'd been distant, her texts curt, her hugs for Lila less frequent. I told myself it was wedding stress. Now, staring at her averted gaze, I saw the truth. She'd chosen them over us. "Lila's my daughter," I said, my voice low, shaking with a fury I barely recognized. "You're telling me she's not welcome at your wedding because she's adopted? Because her skin's darker than yours?" Claire's hands twisted together, her engagement ring catching the light. "It's not me, Sarah. It's Mom and Dad. They're paying for everything and they said it'd be better if she didn't come. For the photos. For the guests." Her voice cracked, but her words felt rehearsed, like she'd practiced this betrayal in front of a mirror. I wanted to grab her, shake her until the sister I loved came back. Instead, I turned and walked out, the crunch of glass under my boots echoing in my ears. My mind raced, replaying every moment I'd trusted her. The late-night calls when she'd promised to be Lila's cool aunt. The way she'd braided Lila's hair, laughing about how she'd teach her to dance at the wedding. Lies, all of it. Or maybe not lies, maybe just cowardice. Either way, it burned. That night, I sat on Lila's bed, watching her sleep, her small chest rising under a unicorn blanket. The room smelled of crayons and lavender lotion, her safe little world. My heart ached with guilt. I'd brought her into a family that didn't want her. I'd failed to protect her from their ugliness. But the anger was louder, a roaring tide that drowned out the pain. They didn't get to decide who my daughter was. Not Claire, not our parents, not their snobby guests. The next morning I made a call. My voice was steady, but my hands shook as I dialed the caterer, the florist, the band. I cancelled every vendor Claire had booked through me, every favor I'd called in as her maid of honor. Then I sent her a text. "If Lila's not family, neither am I. Good luck with your wedding." I hit send and felt the world shift, a quiet detonation in my soul. The day of the wedding, I took Lila to the park. Her laughter as she chased butterflies was a balm, but not enough to quiet the storm inside me. My phone buzzed with Claire's voicemails, tearful at first, then angry. "How could you do this to me?" she sobbed. I didn't answer. Let her feel the weight of her choice. Later I heard the wedding was a mess. Undelivered flowers, no food, a silent dance floor. Part of me felt a vicious satisfaction, but it was fleeting. The real twist came a week later, when Claire showed up at my door, her eyes red, her hands clutching a letter. "I'm sorry," she whispered, handing it to me. It was from her fiancé, confessing he'd been cheating for months. He'd left her, unable to face the wreckage of their day. Claire's betrayal of Lila had cost her everything. Her wedding, her future, her trust. I looked at her, my sister, broken and alone. I wanted to hate her, but all I felt was pity. Lila's still your niece, I said, my voice softer than I meant. But you have to earn her back. She nodded, tears falling, and I closed the door, holding Lila's hand. The betrayal had shattered us both, but we'd rebuild together.